Okay, we're going to be looking at one way that cells actually uh, combine together to form more useful structures. So cells can combine to form something called tissues, and then these tissues can be organized into larger structures called organs. So when you imagine uh, cutting open someone's body and taking a look at a heart or the intestines or the stomach, if you actually examine each of these organs in detail, you'll find the stomach is not just one type of cell. The stomach has all these different layers. Each one of those layers is called a different type of tissue. And then each one of those tissues can be made up of a specific type of cell. So there's a little analogy to help you make sense of everything. So if you imagine like building a house, each house has different types of rooms, and each room could be made up of a different type of structure. If we're in Japan, you have some flooring that is made up of something called tatami. You could have brick walls, you could have wood involved there, you could have different types of windows, all these different types of materials. So each of the parts of the room is combined together to make that room, but each of the parts of the room is actually made up of specific building materials. So you need bricks to make a brick wall, you need glass, and you need plastic or wood to make a window pane. You need wood in order to make specific wood flooring tiles that get combined together and you put all that together. And so the same way that that works is the same way that our bodies and all living things, including plants, are actually put together. So this entire thing you would call an organism, a living organism. So a plant is an organism, or these humans are living organisms, and they're made up of all these organs. So a plant organ would be like a leaf, or a petal, for example, would be a plant organ. But a petal itself is made up of several different types of cells and different structural materials. A leaf, in the same way, has veins that carry food and water, and it has various cells that, for example, can allow oxygen in, and different types of cells that allow light energy to be converted into food by photosynthesis. That's the process that plants do. It's an example of metabolism that plants actually do. And so each one of those different parts there, those oxygen allowing cells, the cells that contain chlorophyll, are actually made up of different types of tissues, and those are in turn made up of specific types of cells. So for example, a leaf that absorbs light energy will probably contain little green organelles called chloroplasts, whereas the cells that are making up the tubes that allow water to be transferred through probably won't have those green chloroplasts in there. So it's very specific, the type of cell that you need depending on the type of tissue that you are. So that's the whole idea here. An organism such as a plant is made up of different organs. Each organ consists of different types of tissues, which consists of many similar types of cells. So that's the idea, that's the organization of life, where you have cells built up into tissues, which are organized into organs, which are organized into an organism, which is the one large living thing. In this way, different parts of an organism can do different jobs necessary to keep the organism alive. And so a complicated human, like this guy being lifted right here, has all these different parts that are working together, and each part has a specific job. And those specific jobs are possible because of the many different types of cells that exist and how they are actually organized. Okay, I hope that made sense.